Right, so I'm on Mr. Chippy's bench, and hopefully I can complete this before he notices. So I need to change the mains plug and fit it correctly. This is the Selmar 3 amp regulated power supply, not to be confused with the FKI one, which is about 1 amp. We just looked at that on a previous video when I purchased it from a radio rally, or where Mark purchased it from a radio rally, and it looked rather nice. It actually looks like it really will do 3 amps. So we're going to do an overhaul on it, and then we'll flog it on eBay. So we've got a Mullard mustard capacitor, which the guitar amplifier fraternity would pay a fortune for. LM380 and 100 microfarads 16 volts, 4700 microfarads there, and whatever that small one is there. So we need to take the printed circuit board out, so we're going to have to take the 4mm sockets off. And Mr. Chippy's got a suitable tool for this, which no doubt came from Aldi. Is it that one? No. Is it that one? Yeah, I reckon it is. And then I expect you need some kind of adapter. Enough to just remove that one is. I'll just pop those off, make it easier. It's just an SRBP board, hand soldered. So, I still don't know what that one is. I'm going to desolder these parts. Right, so I've done that. And what we've got is, it was 10 microfarads one I couldn't see. 10 microfarads, 100 microfarads and 4700. I don't have any axial type ones, so we've put in a much higher quality 35 volt rated rather than 25 volt rated one, and I've simply cross-wired it underneath. Now there's already links, there's 2 blue wire links. I've just put an extra blue wire link in to take and drilled the board appropriately. I've been able to bend that down so it's got good mechanical rigidity. The other thing I'm going to do is just going to clean with the fiberglass brush the printed circuit board where it makes contact with, what's that, a bit of flux. I don't feel I need to deflux this, they didn't. I'll do that on there, and hopefully that's all we need to do to it. So let's just see whether these capacitors, which I've taken out, were working. We'll start with this type, which I don't have any faith in. So this is 100 microfarads. Just check that my leads, I think my leads were touching, and try again. 150. Right, that's not good. because they rise when they're starting to fail, and they go leaky on the voltage. So if it's 16 volt rated, it'd probably start playing up. Next one's 10 microfarads. That's 8.1. That's pretty well, fair enough. And this is probably alright, the 4700. I'm just going to discharge it. I'll just short the leads across the heatsink there, just in case. I know I haven't had it on for 2 weeks, but I just don't want to put any volts across the meter. This will take some working out. $5,020, that's probably near enough, but at the end of the day, it's 40 years old, needs new capacitors, so that little red one was a bit suspect, as I thought it would be. Having said that, it might have carried on working for years, but we're here to service things. So we'll put these nuts back on. That's fun to put that back. It was fun to get it off as well. And the pliers are slightly magnetic, unfortunately. So I want these to be tight, but not stupidly tight. I'll just cut the excess off that pin. There we go. Right, well, I'll do the mains plug. Thank you for the loan of your tools, Mr. Chippy. He probably won't watch the video. Good. And his little drill bits. And better put his screwdriver bit back in. Okay, right, I'll do this mains plug. 13 amp fuse, just, you know, ridiculous. In fact, I may as well just snip that off there. And we'll get a nice new plug out. Well, I managed to find a second-hand plug, so long time since there were 39 pence, and of course Wilco's have gone now. So that's now properly wired with the corded cord grip. There's no earth, it's double insulated, and 3 amp fuse. The top on. And hopefully we can plug that in. Find a socket that's actually spare. Get the proper dummy load thing out and make sure it's working and what its load capability are, but it probably will do about 3 amps, which is more than most will. So let's try and get that in shot. .6 volts isn't any use to us, is it? So adjust the preset if we've got a suitable trimming tool on here. .7. Right, I'll switch it off at that. Check nothing's getting hot. And we'll get the electronic load. Okay, we're in the chapel now because the electronic load happens to be in here. We have a radio club meeting in here, and it's I'd bunged it in the organ workshop adjacent. So at the moment we are at 100 milliamps. It's 13.7 volts. And let's just increase that. Wrong button. Point 2, point 3, point 3 is where you normally are on receive with the CB, somewhere around there, 0.3, 5.4. So that's fine. As we go into transmit on a UK set, between 1 and 1.3 amps, it's doing 13.4, 13.5 volts. And if we go into transmit on a really latest model, which is more thirsty, we're at 12.6 volts as it starts to drop off. As we go to 12.5, that's where its usefulness ends. So 2.5 amps. What I'm going to do, we'll just set it up for a peak. I'll just disconnect. So there we are with a 3 amp peak. Will it support 3 amp for 1 second? Well, it won't shut it down, it goes down to 10.8 volts. So there we go, that is working, and is exactly suited for what it says, but always take these power ratings with kid gloves. So 3 amps, yeah, right, okay. 2.5, yes, but of course you're only on transmit usually for 10 seconds at a time or whatever. So there we go. It's a British offering that actually works reasonably, and we'll shove that on eBay. So thanks for watching this Selmar power supply service.